We're back, and it's your boy Wings of Redemption. I'm doing another dual commentary with a guy I think everybody can learn a thing or two from, Woody Gamertag.
Yeah,
Is that your actual name?
Woody's Gamertag is my actual gamer tag, and I go by Woody, the unexceptional gamer. So that
What's up, guys? This is the one you might actually have missed. This is the very first dual com I ever did with Woody's Gamertag. And this is way back at the start of Modern Warfare 2. And who would have known it would have forged an everlasting friendship that some would say was the start of a monopoly on YouTube. But yeah, this is the first game that this is actually the first time I met Woody's Gamertag. I'll go ahead and tell the story of how I met Woody. I met Woody basically through a message back in the day when I think I had 40 or 50,000 subs at this point. And Woody had 38, but he basically sent me a message, and he said something along the lines that I have a lot to offer and so forth. And I had never even talked to him up until this point in the commentary. So when we actually did the commentary, so I didn't really know what to expect. So what I did when he sent me the message, I looked at his channel, and I realized that, and I see, he had a headset video up. I'm like, man, this is a pretty good headset tip. So this guy might actually go places. And at the end of the video, I basically said and said it this way, like, dude, you're gonna go far in this game, because he had the voice, he had the mentality, he had pretty much the willingness to work, and you could kind of just see it from those characteristics. And basically, he had that kind of personality that I continually wanted to work with him, and that's how we pretty much became friends. It was more along the lines of, he watched my channel a lot, and he wanted to do well like me, but he also wanted to step into the game and become friends with all the... Pretty much, he didn't do this for money, to be the perfectly honest. He did this because he wanted to meet some of the people he'd been idolizing while he was sitting at work hating his life. And I wanted to be his friend, basically because of just, he had a soothing voice, and he was just interesting to talk to, because at the time, there was a couple Kings of Crunk, Blame Truth, XCal, and everybody pretty much played their own way, just like kind of like YouTube's leaning back toward now, where everything's rush happy and there has a certain style of play. And Woody was like the only person that I seen that embodied a different style of play, and I always admired him for that. Somebody that's willing to realize that he's not the best gamer, and through that is where you actually find stuff that actually works. I've always been the kind of person that would contend that the best way to play a game isn't to look at what the best players are doing, but what the worst players are doing. And why I say that is because a bad player is instinctively going to go to what he finds useful. I mean, sometimes it takes a little bit of deduction on your part on this, because obviously ACOG grenade launcher isn't useful. But on the other hand, why is a guy using Ghost? Because it's helping him get kills. So Ghost, from deduction of that standpoint, you could assume that Ghost is one of the higher tier perks. Generally, what you see a lot of is generally what's going to be very successful. That's why you generally see a lot of like dual FMG pistols. You see a lot of like ACR. You see a lot of Type 95 in Modern Warfare 3. And it pretty much dictates that. And Woody was the kind of person that didn't shy away from that. And I came into the Call of Duty community with that kind of mentality, that play to win mentality. This came mainly from Mortal Kombat. When I played Mortal Kombat, I never played it professionally, but I played it to the point I wanted to be rank 1. I never made it to rank 1. Highest I ever got was rank 2. And I think Fisticuffs made it to 3, or he might have been 1 for a while, because I didn't know Fisticuffs at the time. I didn't know he did a YouTube channel, but I met Fisticuffs way before YouTube got started. He was on Mortal Kombat Deception. He was like a Darius user, and Darius had this really cheesy gauntlet weapon. And eventually the game became play to win to the point where everybody used Dairu or Bo Raicho, because they had really cheap free throws. And I use the word cheap here, but you got to use what you got to use to win, and that's why I basically played Mortal Kombat. I did what it had to be done to win the game. I didn't consider anything fair game, because you know what? At the end of the day, I can play a certain way. If I'm losing, what does it matter? That's the way I pretty much. That's one of the ways that helped pave the way for the kind of player I am today. You play the game to win. You don't care what tactics you use to win, as long as you're winning and within the fair ground rules of the game. Obviously, you don't want to use like a game shark to cheat to win, but if you want to like manipulate spawns, if you want to pretty much use a barrel, if you want to, basically use the better weapon, that's the way I pretty much looked at the game and decided to play it today. That's called having a non-scrub mentality. Like a scrub, which from what I take it is a person that you can mop the floor with. You scrub the floor with them. That's why they're called scrubby DWs. And that's actually a Mortal Kombat term. Well, actually, it's a Street Fighter term, which Mortal Kombat kind of adopted. But if you also notice, the holographic on the M4 is really good compared to the Modern Warfare 3 holographic. Look how big it is. I mean, I kind of thought that, Modern Warfare 3 had some of the best iron sights because they were big, wide, and open. But I love the holographic side of Modern Warfare 2. I mean, just looking back at this video, it was a great thing. But that's a whole different, ballpark. Let's get back to Woody. I decided to use this game because a lot of people pretty much never realized how our relationship was forged, and this is our beginning of our relationship. And just like I said before, I mean, it is more of a give and take kind of thing. Woody would give me the sage-like advice, and he was way ahead of the game. Like, he was worrying about, how good of a video goes over, like to dislike ratio and things like that before it became popular. I remember to myself, I didn't even really keep track of the video count. I didn't really keep track of how popular videos was. I didn't really keep track of my subscriber count. None of that really came along, that kind of like stat tracking, until Woody started pointing it out. So Woody pointed me to vid stats. Woody pointed me out how to hit trends in the channel. He came in the game knowing his stuff, and I learned a lot from Woody. He's probably given me just as much as I've ever given him. He's probably given me more, to be perfectly honest. And be honest, there's probably not a nicer guy I've ever met on YouTube, period. I mean, there's a lot of people that will be your friend or whatever, but Woody's the kind of guy that will back you up, and I really admire the guy so much. I ask myself, I pretty much ask myself sometimes, like, man, why can't I be as cool as Woody, or be, and it's actually changed my personality in real life. That's how when you start looking up to someone on more of a friend level, because I was like, man, I wish I could be like Woody more. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, Woody's got a few years on me. I mean, maybe if I just adopt some of his adopt some of his ways and things like that, and just be myself as a person in the long run. Basically, not try to just be fucking single white female Woody, but be myself in the long run and take basically from some of the things he do and just learn from them, and like see how he does things and manage to my own self. Maybe when I turn Woody's age, I could be in that same situation, to give that sage-like advice, and better myself as a person in the long run. But that's a little deeper thing, and something else to do on another end of the story. But yeah, this is the very first game that Woody ever gave me. This is the very first dual com game. I forgot the end score on it. This was back in the day when dual comms was actually done. He had a 22 and a 3. By no means beast standards of today's YouTube world, but back in the day, that's what pretty much a YouTube game was. You go 22 and 3, and you pretty much tell people how you managed to pull it off. But if you like this video, give it a like. If you want to see the Venture series continue on, if you could possibly give me 4,000 ratings, love you so much. It's your boy Wings of Redemption, and I'm Audi 5000, and I'm signing off. You know, I've always found it funny when people ask you for your email address. It always seems like it's icky. It's like you don't really want to write it down. You ever get that way where you don't really want to write down your email address, and you're like, Wings of Redemption. GameStop's one of the people that actually. GameStop's one of the worst offenders I'm thinking about in this. And but like, what would happen if you had a really off the wall email? I'm talking about like an Xbox Live email. Like, what if you go up in the GameStop and you sign up for like a power up rewards card and be like, we're like, what's your email, sir? Pussy Powder 69. Wouldn't that be funny? What's up, fellas? It's your boy Wings of Redemption, and got a little thing to talk about. My latest videos, I've been playing a lot of Domination, and a lot of people notice I've been playing a lot of Domination with a full team. Well, the reason being that is I'm still going for my 500 game win streak. That is my mission. I failed 3 or 4 times on the Xbox around 100 games, so I decided to go ahead and flip the script and play with some of my guys on PS3. For those you don't know, I have a very high win-loss ratio on PS3 as well. So I started playing with the guys on PS3, and we're still on our win streak. It's currently up to 130 games, which is longer than the Xbox's by like 22 so games, and it's going strong. We had a lot of fucking tough matches tonight. Lots of tough matches. Like this was one on interchange where I ended up going like, I think I went like 26 and 21 or something like that. Would you guys be interested in seeing that gameplay? But that team that we're facing, they knew what they were doing. They knew not to take A. They knew to do certain things. They tack inserted. And there was a couple times throughout the night that I really, really thought that I was going to lose my win streak, especially since we actually jumped in and started playing some of the newer maps. Played Black Box and stuff like that. And there was a kill confirmed on Black Box I thought we were going to lose as well. I'm not going to show that one. Not because I had a horrible score. Hell, I'm willing to show 25 and 21. Mainly because it was like an 11-minute long kill confirmed match that ended by the time, and it was really boring because I was actually trying to sound whore. I was actually trying something different there. I mean, since I didn't know the new maps, I figured I'd put on Dead Silence and like a silent submachine gun, and kind of stay indoors and just sound whore people. Well, that fails horribly, dude. It does. It fails really bad. I asked my buddy Newbie, who's always talking about sound and how he does it. He says, you gotta have Sitrep Pro with Dead Silence Pro at the same time. I'm like, that's a pain in the ass, dude. What happened to being able to sound whore with like steady aim at level 1, like on COD 4 or like World at War? What I mean, I used to be able to like hear people coming without the need of Dead Silence or like a enhancer perk. I understand that these game companies feel like the headsets are unfair, but like for the most part, like you've destroyed them to the point where you can't use them. I haven't watched any competitive play in Modern Warfare 3 yet, but I'm wondering if headsets even factor in anymore, other than for communication tools. I mean, why would you put a I'm at a loss for words what they actually call it here, game dynamic into the game and then slowly phase it out when people actually start using it. It's atrocious. I mean, Treyarch did it. Treyarch kept increasing the footsteps, but this is Infinity Ward. You can never expect them to do anything along that line, because Treyarch actually cared. But the fact is, Treyarch's Ninja was only good if you were in like a free for all / TDM setup where you actually could hear people's footsteps. This game right here, I've had people like Stalker full sprint come up and stab me in the back with Dead Silence on, and all I'm doing is sitting there listening to them, have the headset turned up to the point where it makes my ears bleed. What do you guys feel about it? Do you guys feel the headsets are unfair? Do you feel like this is the right path they should go on with the headsets being almost worthless unless you have a certain setup of perks? Or did you like the ability to have an advantage over somebody because you paid extra money? I mean, that's a bad way to say it, but it kind of makes the game on a more fair playing field. And I don't know. But this is a TDM game. People were saying that they didn't like the way I was playing Domination, so I played a little bit of TDM today. This is, I think the final score was 18-4, which is about what you can expect to get from a full team TDM. You're not gonna play with, well, in this case, 5 fantastic players with, you know, with a big, you know, 30 or 40 kill TDM score. And normally, if you want to see TDM gameplay, I'll jump on Space Orange. But right now, I'm dead set in this pretty much mentality to get these wins. And I'm actually thinking about maybe live streaming tomorrow some Call of Duty. So if so, check out a video. If I'm going to live stream tomorrow, I'll make another video based off of it. It's been your boy Wings of Redemption. If you could please leave a rating for this video. As always, I'm Audi 5000. Well, hello guys, what's up? It's your boy Wings of Redemption, and we're back, and we're bringing you a TDM on Black Ops. You know, a lot of people seem to look at my videos and seem to think, well, why do you play that way, Wings? Well, let me go and explain the reason I play the way I play. The reason I play the way I play is mainly because I hate playing the numbers game. What is a numbers game? You know, you hear this referred to more in the aspect of females than anything else. A numbers game in female terms is when you ask enough girls out, eventually one of them will say yes. That is the numbers game. I see Call of Duty gameplay as the same way. I can take it and I can go into each game and try to get the most exciting gameplay possible, and it's eventually going to happen. Be it, you know, the stars align, be it the, you know, scrubs all come together, be it you just find the magic lobby. Eventually you're going to find a lobby where, you know, you can run around full tilt and spray from the hip, and you feel like a golden god, a street fighting machine when you do it. What you don't realize is how long it took you to get that game, which is something that's more amplified when you're in a Call of Duty, when you're in a place where you have to get consistent gameplay all the time. Same thing is being said with Diablo 2. I used to play a game called Diablo 2, and on that game there was magic finding. In the magic finding, you'd spend 2 or 3 hours looking for a good item, and you kind of fluctuate your magic find sell. Some people said they found better items at 400% magic find. Some people said you have better items at 700% magic find. And what you never you know put into aspect is, you know, luck and how long it actually took you to get that stuff. I believe there's guys out there that can probably go and, you know, rush and get, you know, consistent gameplay all the time. But for the standard person, me and you, it just doesn't happen. The reason it doesn't happen is because the game has been slowly catering to worser and worser to people that are worse off at the game than others. And I disagree with this to begin with. Here's the reason why I disagree with this. I'm pretty good at Call of Duty. A lot of you may not agree, but I know I'm pretty good at Call of Duty. You know, I have way above average stats, and I can generally go into every gun fight thinking I have a good chance to win it. That means I'm above average at Call of Duty. But you know what I didn't have when I learned how to play Call of Duty? I didn't have someone holding my hand. When I first jumped in that first Call of Duty 4 match, and the game was over halfway over, so everybody against me knew the maps. So every time I'd run into a good player, he would shit on my face because he knew the maps better than me until I learned them. I would lose. So what I would end up doing is when I got beat up by a full team, I didn't even realize it back in the day when I was getting beat up by a full team. I was like, man, dude, this is so much harder than the previous game. And eventually you put 2 and 2 together, and, you know, you get 4. So you start realizing that, yeah, this weapon is better than this weapon. You start looking at what other people use, that and that and that. You know, you start putting deductions together until you eventually get good at the game. Well, I made a video this morning about Modern Warfare 3 needs a better sound scheme, because the fact is, even Black Ops had a shitty sound scheme, and it seems like a continual trend. By the time the next, you know, 2 Call of Duties comes out, sound whoring will be completely out of the game, something that pretty much defined the Call of Duty series. To be perfectly honest, being able to sound whore was one of the reasons I enjoyed Call of Duty so much, because it made me feel like I had a a heightened sense, like I was above somebody, like I knew something and I knew how to play it to a different level. Now they took a tool out of my arsenal, and that tool is the ability to sound whore. I mean, when you take a tool away from Arsenal and you keep taking tools away from players, like for example, a lot of people complain about Assassin. Assassin is another tool they take away from you. When you played World at War, when you played Call of Duty 4, pretty much the UAV was a Blackbird. You know, you get your 3 kills and you start learning that way. And it helped with the learning curve a great deal, just like a kill cam when a person sees a UAV. Now when a new person comes in, they get a UAV, they know to fear it, so they just put Assassin on. And I mean, Assassin is so prevalent in Modern Call of Duty 3, Modern Warfare 3, that you can't not use it. It blocks EMPs, which is something that they give away. It blocks UAVs, which is up all day because of welfare kill streaks. It blocks Marksman, which is probably the strongest perk on Modern Warfare 3. That's just my opinion. But, well, because Quick Draw is worthless because of lag compensation, but Marksman just points you out. So you pretty much need Assassin to block Marksman, and that's the reason I use Assassin on Modern Warfare 3. It's not to stealth the UAV, it's not to hide, it's to block Marksman. And I use Marksman to my advantage because, why not? Why not have like a 0.2 second, like a full second advantage over everybody you meet? It's one way to beat lag compensation. And death streaks was another horrible idea. In theory, it was good. You give a guy a little extra health, he gets out the spawn. But they end up giving him like 15 tons extra health or fucking atomic bomb strapped to his chest. Be it whatever you want. What do you guys think about them slowly throwing the skill ceiling down to the point where you're a midget? And it feels like they're taking away everything I've learned to be an above average player and just taking it from me. Do you guys feel the same way? Do you like the way the Call of Duty section is heading? And the main reason I'm stating all this is because of I played the new maps the other day, and those new maps are catered to 100% casual players. They have no choke points. The spawns so far have very little reason or meaning. And it is what it is. Let me know, pimps. What's up, guys? It's your boy Wings of Redemption. And we're going to be doing something a little different today. For those of you wondering, this is Interchange. Like, ooh, Interchange. I'm tired of seeing you camp on Interchange, Wings. Well, I don't get to camp this game. This game is... We ran into a super strong team. And I want to talk about spawn trapping. Obviously, I want to talk about spawn trapping. I've been talking about it a couple times here, but I want to show you a good and valid point about spawn trapping. And that point is, if you're a good player and you're with a good team, you don't get spawn trapped. People call spawn trapping an illegitimate tactic. They call it, unfair. They call it taking advantage of the game. But the fact is, domination is a game of spawn trapping. That's all it is. I want you to notice in the beginning of this gameplay how we're fighting for C and nobody's going for A. At one point I spawn on A and I don't go around to take it. There's a reason for that. Because any good player knows that A on this map is a death trap. You do not want the A flag. You take that A flag, you've lost the game. And what ends up happening is somebody on their team eventually takes that A flag. But the fact is, the other team is so good, we can never hold them in a spawn trap. You know why? Because they do things to keep us from spawn trapping them. And I go 24 and 21 in this game. I end up giving up the sniper rifle really quick for the very reason that I can't keep up with these guys with the sniper rifle. And I end up switching to some other kits, and I end up doing off the wall things just to keep the game winnable. A lot of people see me go on these long kill streaks and play with full parties, and like, why do you always play with full parties, Wings? Well, first off, I'm going for a win streak, so it's playing in a full party is almost required to basically go on any kind of win streak. And the second off, I hate losing. I hate losing with a passion. I don't see guys go there and criticize Sir Grizz for always playing in the party. He does. He plays in a party every match he plays. And there's a few reasons for it, but you don't ever see these matches because these matches are the kind of matches that you don't hardly ever see the light of day. Nobody wants to see you go 24 and 21. I mean, I wasn't even the all-star on this team. There's other players doing much better than me. Mainly there's a bunch of variables with it, but they're mainly because I switched to a support route. And I ended up using some of the generic classes just to keep people up and pretty much so the enemy so my team could not constantly keep B. I mean, I jumped on B so many times it's ridiculous. And like here, boom, you see me spawn on A. That flag's wide open. Why would I not go for it? Because if I would have took that flag just then and they would have just got B just like they did, we were spawn trapped. And I didn't jump on A to avoid that spawn trap. Understanding the spawn trap is part of being a good player. And, you know, being a good player is always going for that win. As much as I like KD, I like winning more than KD. My win-loss is like an 11. I lose a game like once a month. Plain and simple. That's what I do. When I'm playing with my main accounts and I'm playing with, you know, my squad of my friends, losing is not the option. I mean, losing one single game to me, you have to reevaluate how you played that game, because why did you lose that game? What caused it? Who is the weak factor? Who needs to redeem themselves? Who has, you know, the stronger gun skill? You know, there's a million bunch of variables here that you can go into. And like Rome, we almost get the spawn trap down here. You see this. This is what I usually do when we get to the spawn trap. Reason being, it covers half of their damn spawn. This is one of the main routes out of the spawn. They usually come this way and flank around and try to go around and take C. But I'm cutting that off. And you see, he got out. You know why he got out? Because he put a tack insert down. And so because he tack inserted, he opened up that thing. Now they're able to flow out where I am. I spawned on the other side of the map, and now we have just B. So now we're stuck back over here in La La Land. So now you see, now I'm like, boom, dropping the sniper rifle. I'm going to my my little bitch class here. I have a bitch class. It's a support class with UAV and steady aim with the MP7. And now I'm going in the tryhard mode. And that's just what it is. You always have a class you fall back onto. Hell, recently I just started using the support kill streaks throughout the game, and not mainly just to hold people down more, other than going for KD, because EMP is the strongest kill streak on this game. EMP is wicked strong. I mean, there's not too much more I can say for this. I mean, this gameplay is like 12 minutes long, so I'm just going to go ahead and probably just cut it and just go ahead and show you why. I just wanted to show this and point out to the point that if you're good at the game and your team is good at the game, you won't get spawn trapped. But if you come up against a team and you get spawn trapped, they're not taking advantage of the game. They're putting you in that spawn trap. They're putting you in that spawn trap because, one, you're inexperienced in domination. Two, you took the wrong flag or you're in the wrong variable. Three, you constantly losing gunfights and you can't win the gunfight. Four, you're doing something rather stupid, be it, you know, spinning around with a sniper rifle, running around with a KSG, or anything like that. Hell, they have a kit. This kit right here. It's called First Recon. It is fantastic for domination. Reason being is it has recon on it and flashbangs. You could constantly sit there and flashbang people and be an asset to your team without any kind of gun ability at all. I mean, if you can't beat people, like I was finding out I was struggling to beat these guys 1v1 gun skill. So you know what I did? I switched to the First Recon class and started flashbanging the shit out of them. Yes, you're going to occasionally get a kill with the UMP-45 rapid fire, but at the end of the day, when all is said and done, it's all about being an asset to your team. Take the easy games when you can get them and enjoy them, and take the hard games and be ready to play when the hard games do come up. Because I don't back away from teams. I don't. A full team comes to the lobby, you're not going to see me run. If one tryhard comes to the lobby, I'll ask him to back out, because who wants to deal with one tryhard all game? But a full team, I welcome a full team, because it allows me to test my team's ability. It allows me to see the flaws in my game of domination. You know, going 70-1 is just a YouTube thing. I know a lot of people criticize me for the YouTube videos where I put up where I basically don't move. But the fact is, Call of Duty punishes you for moving. I said this in Modern Warfare. I said this in World at War. Call of Duty punishes anybody that moves. You never see me really camp that much on Battlefield. You know, I don't camp much on Battlefield. One, you can reload while running. Two, there's no advantage to camping in Battlefield, because if you camp in Battlefield, a rocket will blow you up. No advantage to it. I do what works in every game, and generally what it is. You know what Battlefield's version of camping is? Tank whoring. So you know what I like to do? I like to get a tank and run it down the enemy's throat. That's what I do. I mean, I'm by no means the expert MLG pro player. I by no means want to be an MLG pro player. I enjoy doing well in a video game though, and I enjoy winning. And those are two things that I enjoy doing. And for me to enjoy playing a game, I need to be doing well and I need to be winning. I don't really want to play, the games like this, they're fun from time to time, but I don't want to go into every game I play and have this. Sometimes I want to relax and chill out and just beast on people, putting them in their spawn, and just have a good laugh with the friends. Isn't that what we all want to do? How many times can you say you're in a game like this and you're having a great time and you enjoy doing this? I understand it's great from time to time, but getting beat over and over and over again, it's not fun. If you say it's fun, you're lying to yourself. You're lying. I mean, and that's a deeper, more emotional problem. I'm not going to harp on this anymore after this point. I mean, I'm going to be doing a live stream here soon on PS3, and hopefully I'm going to be able to push my win streak up to 150. And by the way, this is on the PlayStation 3 where there's supposed to be no good players. Fact is, there's good players on every console that you play on. Every one of them has good players. Every one of them has bad players. And people differentiate that. I mean, it is what it is. But you pretty much seen the entire video. We had them under control at this point, but it took us 9 minutes to get them under control. I'm going to go ahead and show you the final score. It did end up beating them. As always, if you have any questions or if you like this type of gameplay, let me know. It's been your boy Wings of Redemption, and they're pretty much spawn trap for the rest of the game. Peace. I'd also like you to notice the assists on our team just then. If you want to go ahead and pause it. You notice everybody's into double-digit assists. That's because we're all running recon and we're helping each other out. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Wings of Redemption, and it's time again. Let's go on down this dark, murky road that is my mind, and let's go ahead and discuss something I've been enjoying. I did a couple little physical activity things today, so I'm good on that end. So I sit down, trying to relax. My back was kind of hurting because moving around when you're fat and you haven't moved around in a while hurts your back. So I sat around and I watched some TV, and what happened to be on was a show called Moonshiners. And Moonshiners is basically a show on Discovery Channel which is about people running moonshine, which is an alcoholic beverage that's, partakes here in the South, made of like corn and mash and stuff like that. Well, it's illegal to run moonshine. But most people probably already know this from movies, Smoking the Bandit, the whole nine there. I was wondering this. This is just my personal questioning and just me having a conversation with you guys. Why would they put a moonshiner in jail? Let's do a little bit of math here. This might be a little bit boring, but bear with me. Alright. Let's say they sell a quart of moonshine for $10. Alright. So, there's 4 quarts in a gallon, so that's $40. There's 800 gallons in a moonshine still. So, that roughly comes up to about 30 grand, $32,000. So, they're making $32,000. The main reason they don't allow moonshine to be legal is, one, that people are making it without, FDA approval, without business license, without the whole nine. The basic gist of it is the IRS can't get their hands on it. Same reason hooking is illegal. That's another thing I've always found funny. It's illegal to be a hooker, but it's not illegal. But let me word it this way, because this way seems to be the most stupid way to word it. I can't pay Jane to suck my dick, but I can pay Jane to suck someone else's dick. And that's the truth. I can't pay somebody to perform sex on me, but I can pay 2 people to have sex on video. The reason they can do that is because of the taxes. The reason hooking is illegal is because of taxes. Too many people can loan shark it because it has such low upkeep. And there's other reasons such as the spread of the disease and so on and so forth. But the real root of it all is money. Understandable. So let's talk about money. So a business like moonshining would get charged somewhere along the lines of, let's say, 40%. So let's go ahead and do what 40% is. So they'd owe the people probably about $13,000 of their 32 to the IRS, straight up. So the IRS wants their money, so they basically go out and pay another guy $30 to $40,000 a year to hunt and find these people. They're called revenue agents. So the revenue agents, which is making double what the tax money on the moonshine still would make, goes out to try to take the moonshine still away from the guy. If he finds him running moonshine, he'll shoot the still up and put him in jail. And when he puts him in jail, you know what happens? It goes on the taxpayers to pay him up, basically put him up in a cot to feed him 3 times, to food, warm, clothes, or shelter, and that costs what? What does it cost to incarcerate a man for 1 year? I looked it up, and it costs on average $45,000 a year. That's it, administration fees, correctional officer fees, food, clothing, the whole nine. So now they spent double the tax money on shutting this guy down. They were owed $13,000, and they spent $40,000. They spent another $45,000 putting this guy away. So now the IRS has misplaced $75,000 of taxpayer money to make $13,000. At the end of the day, why the hell do you care about it? Moonshine is not a problem that's ruining the streets. You know what? I mean, I understand you want to basically channel it. I understand that you want to basically keep people from making bad moonshine, because if you do moonshine wrong, it can kill people. But how often, and let me ask you this, how often have you ever heard of somebody dying from moonshine? Think about that for a minute. I just find it silly the way they do things. I mean, sometimes our government throws money away. I don't know. I just think it's stupid. My reasoning might be off, but there has to be other things they can do somewhere that I'm messing up. But what do you guys think about something like this? And feel free to correct me if I did something wrong, because I'm doing this off the top of my head and just trying to basically rationalize the effect of this show. It is what it is. It's been your boy Wings of Redemption, and if you could, please leave a video rating. And as always, I'm Audi 5000. Peace. What's up, guys? Time for some of that real talk. I meant to do this video earlier today. I kind of fell asleep last night, and I was really tired. So, give some time to put my thought together. And I'm gonna pick my words carefully with this video. So bear with me. So there's probably gonna be a lot of jump cuts in it. Videos about yourself are the hardest ones to talk about, and I didn't really give myself a lot of time or room to talk about it. Kind of beat around the bush here. I know I had the series Fail Friday and such, and always people call in and ask me for advice, so I'm gonna ask you guys for advice at this point. I have a close friend, and a close friend, I believe, is on drugs. Not drugs like cocaine or anything, but prescription drugs. I think this person is addicted to pain pills. And it tears me up inside watching him, self-destruct this way. And I don't really know how to help him. I mean, because there's so many boundaries you can do. Is like, how do you help somebody that doesn't want to help themselves? And this is a question that's been asked forever, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people's gone through it. You pretty much can go through it with a few different controlled substances, and since the person is so close to me, it makes it that much harder, because you don't want to put the gap there. But how much is that gap worth to someone? I mean, I guess that's kind of worded it wrong, but talking about how the gap is worth something. Like how much is a relationship worth for you not to close that gap? Because closing the gap is easy. That's the easy part of it. The hard part is the consequences for closing that gap. You never know how a person is going to react to what you're doing or how you're doing, and like the being pig-headed enough to say that you should interject and help them. I mean, like, for the most part, that person thinks they're 100% fine, they're okay. But how can they be okay with such a cloudy mind? I mean, it's I'm kind of looking at it like when I was young. You know, when I was young, I used to think I knew it all. Hell, I still do in kind of a way. But the fact is, I'm humbled enough now to know when to listen and when to shut up. And even if I do think I know I'm right, there's always that person in the back of my mind telling me I'm wrong. And I've never been addicted to anything like that. I've never been addicted to a substance. Hell, I usually refuse pain pills if I think, I think I've took pain pills twice in my life. And I usually refuse them if I can get by with them. Like, I remember when I hurt the muscles in my back on a trampoline when I was young, I didn't take any pain pills then. I just suffered through it because I did not want to become addicted, because I have an addictive personality, something I got from my father. And this is the video asking your guys' advice about this, because I don't really know what to do. I don't know the boundaries that are needed to happen here. I don't know the best way to do it, and I don't even know for sure that this said person is on controlled substances, but the percentage of me unsuring of it is about 95 to 5. I mean, I'm 95% sure that something is happening just from seeing things around there. And I think I've been ignoring it up to this point, but I think it's at the point where he's going to start making drastic life changes, and maybe even start going to the point where he, maybe start trying to take some stuff, or maybe sell some of the stuff that he worked hard for out of his life to, get that quick fix or whatever it is. And there's going to be consequences, and consequences probably would involve me later on in the date, be it monetarily or whatever, just straight up heartache. So how have any of you guys ever dealt with something like this? Somebody else close to you that's slowly watching himself self-destruct. What do you guys think about it? And see if you guys can help me out. Peace.
I wanted to do a dual com today with you.
What you got?
Talk about a couple things. One, how YouTube affects your life. Two, how what YouTube has turned into. The marketing thing where, you look at your comment section today. I bet even you have this in your comment section where people advertise themselves.
Yep.
And I understand it grows people. And I understand that your video, which was getting 30 views, might get, 120 views or something like that, because you market yourself on someone else's channel. But people are doing it without rhyme or reasons, like
without respect or regard. Like, they don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
They come to your video out of the fucking blue just to hope they can get somebody to click on their name channel.
But it's not even that, but it's like this video, The Art of Self-Destruction. This was a really, really serious video today. And the video itself is it's about my brother. And how, the military has changed him, and how he's pretty much become I assume he's become addicted to pain pills.
Yeah.
I've heard worse than that at this point of the day.
Yeah.
And it was like, and then I'm looking at the comments. I'm really looking at the comments, trying to take in what the advice I'm getting me, because I figured, I have a broad base of people. I'm pretty sure somebody out there has dealt with some kind of addiction, because addiction is a problem that happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people get addicted to a lot of things, and I'm sure like prescription drugs is huge down here in the South.
Yeah.
I know probably at least 15 people that are addicted to some kind of prescription drug.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, now look, tell me that before we start. Right now we're just shooting the shit, right?
Who says we're not started?
Oh, fuck. No, hang on, pimp. Hang on. I want to brainstorm something before you start.
Oh, you brainstorming?
Let's go back to Because I ain't done. That shit, you know, that shit pisses me off, though. Like, the only time spamming a channel, the only thing I ever did I can recall as far as, like, wanting people to watch my, anytime I found somebody that would let you do a video response and it just show up, I'd always post a video response. But as far as, like, going on somebody's channel, like, yo, I know nobody will read this and all that stupid shit, I've never done that. And I never will do it, you know?
Well, I've never done it either. I mean, I can't say I've never done it. I mean, I've done it in playful things. I'd be like going on somebody else's smaller channel and be like, I know nobody will ever read this, but I got a couple subscribers.
Yeah, you trolling though. These cats are for real. Yeah.
I mean, I loved how many subscribers I got. It's not the fact that I have so many, but it's the fact that I have so many people to share my life with. Yeah. And like just like today, this video I put out where about this, it means instead of having 4 people in my life that I could ask questions, opinions about, I have 40,000 people.
Yeah.
I can ask questions and opinions to, and you know, and a lot of people, generally the videos like that will get your real subscribers out there, and I knew that going into it, because you'll get people that's never commented on your video before make an account just to help you out, and that's something special.
Yeah.
But then you have these people that are just like, you know, don't even know what the fuck the video's about.
I want to choke a bitch. I'm not even kidding. Because, you know, every time they type that shit, the people that read it, most of the time people on my channel, they just spam it down. They fucking thumbs it.
Yeah, they got that shit in a notepad, just copy paste.
Yeah, they just spam that shit on the channel. But luckily, guys, now they try to get the comment removed and all that shit. I don't remove them. I don't know. Fuck.
I seen you thumb up Bob Loblaw's comment thing there, where he talked about YouTube needs moderators, and that would be a great fucking idea. Why can't we have like a system so we can reward our steady subscribers?
Yeah, you got to get. I mean, for example, there's guys. I mean, I can name some of your guys off the top of my head because, like, for example, Nemo. You know, guys like that who you know are diehard fans, and there's other guys too that you know that. Yeah, they kind of look out for Wings, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, that guy's wrote a fucking bitch-ass comment. You know what? Fuck him.
I've seen... Dude, I remember when my channel was first going up, I could name almost every subscriber that I had. Like, yeah. I remember when I had like 1,000 of them, every subscriber would be, you know, oh, there's that dude again. I remember, like, off the top of my head, there used to be the Rice Harvester. He's kind of turned on me now, but he used to be there. I used to have the Pancake Show. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
He got mad at me when I kicked him out of a game one time, so he kind of stopped watching me too. But, you know, it seems like there's a lot of them out there. Like, oh man, and if anybody's out there listening and I don't mention your name, I mean, it's not that I never noticed you. It's just I can't remember your name at this point in time.
A lot of channel names.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying.
Just keep this in mind. I get around 14,000 channel comments a day over a period of 3,000 videos. Yeah. So I can't.
What do you think is? I know a lot of people I've seen where if they get people that spam, you know, check me out, I post Moabs daily, shit like that. A lot of people have told me that they just straight up block the person. What do you think about that?
I'm actually going to start. I've said to do it before. I mean. I look at it this way. If you're going to use my channel to advertise yourself without my permission, which that's a mean way to say it, that is. I mean, like, you got to have your permission to put something in the comment. It's not that you have to have my permission to put something in the comment section, but I find it deters my YouTube experience when you do that. I mean, because I'm one of the guys on YouTube that really, really enjoys the comment section. That's one thing I love from day one. When I first posted a video and that first comment rolled in, I was addicted. It was like, this is fucking fantastic. Do you remember that feeling?
Yeah. Just, you know, one of the cool things is like a smaller guy that would watch like one of your videos or a big guy's videos. To me, it was always like a challenge. I need to come up with something really witty and smart. Because I'm the type guy, if I see like a top rated comment and it's like a good comment, like a really good comment that has to do with the whole video and whatnot, a lot of times, just by his comment, I would go check his channel out, you know? sometimes it'd be just a random YouTuber just that like watches videos, and sometimes it'd be another commentator. There's actually guys I've subscribed to because I saw their top-rated comment before, and actually wound up being, you know, pretty chill guys that just so happened to post a really cool comment. You know, it got 150 thumbs up, for example. I'm like, damn, that's crazy, you know. So, yeah.
But you also got to remember, every guy that's like that, there's the guy who'll copy his comment and put on somebody else's video.
Exactly.
Word for word.
Yeah.
I've seen one guy make up a legit comment on one video, and the shit gets like 300 thumbs up, you know. And then I put another video up to, like, you know, 6 hours later, and there's a bitch motherfucker copy that man's comment to try to get thumbs up.
Yeah, and it might be the highest rated comment on that video, you know. Well, how about this one? I find this easy to masturbate to. You know?
In one life, I pretend to be a potato.
Yeah. You know, I wish people would go back to treating comments on videos as something that's supposed to be fun, you know.
I wish they would treat it like a fucking comment section where, you know, people talk about something relevant to the video.
Yeah.
Or, you know, even if it's like something else, like say something big happened in the world, like, you know, let's say somebody assassinated Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
Yeah. I expect that to be in the comment section. That's because people want to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, I don't expect to see in the comment section.
What's that?
I get mobs daily. I'm different.
Yeah.
You know, I usually click on those guys who say they're different. I'm like, oh, this guy thinks he's different. Let's see what's up.
Exactly.
I give them a benefit of a doubt. And I've said this, and there's going to be like 15 guys saying that they're different in the comment section. But, and usually they're the exact same. They have no color correction. They're usually on a Dazzle or some other like Roxio game capture device that doesn't stream in 720p.
Roxio game capture.
They have no clue how YouTube does it. They have no clue what files that YouTube puts it on. They're pretty much talking over the gameplay like I used to do back in the day, where it was like, I went down this pathway because I felt like it.
And it's not, we're not hating on them guys, because like I've been there and you've been there. It's just, damn, you know, you take a little bit of time, and you can't go from a new channel. I mean, you shouldn't expect to go from a new channel to 100,000 subs in 6 months. I mean, you just shouldn't expect.
Dude, it took me almost 2 years to get 100,000 subs.
You know, this is what people tell me. Damn, Redneck, I can't believe you only got at 18,000.
Dude,
you should be at 50. I'm like, well, if I get there, I'd get there, but
dude, you know how long I've been stuck at 350,000 subs?
I know.
10 months.
For almost a year now. Yeah, it's
like you think I care? No.
No.
I mean, that subscriber count means very little to me. What means more to me is people that come and I recognize their comments every day. I mean, I post videos for the guys in the comment section.
Yeah.
You know, I do videos for people that go to work. I do videos for people that have nothing to do. That's what I do. I mean, I don't aspire to be some living legend.
Yeah.
And, you know, I try to post something that's relevant to what I like and post what they like, too. I mean, other people do this for more entertainment value, like PewDiePie. I mean, like, he's blowing up right now. And he does his channel strictly for entertainment value, which is understandable, and he gets his reward for doing it. I try to run my channel differently. I try to treat everybody as an individual instead of a business art. Like, you, for example. Like, who would have thought we would have picked you to be Kyle's replacement in PKA? I mean, not replacement, but like the stand-in.
Yeah, I do.
A guy with like 2,000 subscribers.
It was funny. A lot of people's like, I want to know what you paid Wings and Woody to get on PK. I'm like, I didn't pay nothing. I never asked to be on PK. I never paid them nothing. It's just, I got asked to be on. I thought, hey, this is going to be fun. Let's have a good time. Let's roll with it, you know?
I mean, nobody ever pays us anything to be on it. I mean, we usually pick the people.
That's what, people don't, a lot of guys don't realize that. It's just, it's spur of the moment. And it's good times. But everybody thinks, you know, that there's always a money trail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're probably thinking right now, Redneck done gave Wings some money.
Oh, let me tell you all this. Painkiller Already is a losing business. I mean, there is no money in it whatsoever. There's nothing but money being handed out. I do it because it's fun. I go into every week hoping Painkiller Already is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Because as soon as something stops being fun and starts becoming work, that's when it's going to start trailing off and fading off.
Exactly.
Do what you love, and money will come.
Let me touch on that one moment. I got so many people used to spam me about, the times I wasn't on. I'm like, look, it's no big deal. And it got to the point where people were just nonstop. We want to hear you. So I said, you know what? I'll start a little podcast up. But you know what, Wings? It got to be a pain in the ass. It got to be work. It got where the podcast we started, it wasn't fun because you'd spend all day trying to find somebody, get a topic, I'm like, dude, and that's when I almost quit YouTube the other day. I'm like, fuck it, I'm fed up with it. I'm going to go back to being me and worry about doing what I want to do instead of trying to please people like I did with the podcast. And so I'm just like, you know what, I'm done with that. I'm gonna have fun and do it Redneck's way. And if the people that want to attach to me, that's great. And the ones that don't, man, there's other guys. I mean, find who you like and stick with them,
Yeah, I mean, so taking on a podcast by yourself is a hard.
There ain't nothing fun. There's nothing fun about it. I mean, you look at the other podcasts. There's a million of them that started with other big commentators, and usually all die out within 5 episodes.
Yeah, because people realize how much hard work it is.
Exactly.
I mean, I got lucky that I got one of the hardest workers on YouTube, and I asked him to be a part of the podcast early. Yeah. And Woody is one of the cornerstones of PKA. I mean, without him, it probably wouldn't have been going this long. And and even then, Kyle's a cornerstone as well. He's funny. He's witty. He does all this other stuff, and
he does. He's got some nice channel links he puts out too.
Yeah, he should get sponsored by Motherless.
Oh my God! Woo!
But you know what we haven't done in a while?
What's that?
We haven't shut down GodHatesFags.com in a while. We used to, every time PK would come on, we would have God Hates Fags shut down.
I remember. And, seeing shit like that, just who creates a website called God Hates Fags to start with?
Westboro Baptist Church.
Exactly. It's almost a joke. Think about this, Wings. You grew up in a small town, southern, you was a southern church guy, right?
I Southern Free Will Baptist.
All right. Did you check imagine yourself at 10 years old, and your mom or dad was like, "Yo, Westboro Baptist Church has a sign up front that says God Hate Fags." Could you even imagine something like that as a kid?
Dude, that's one of the reasons I actually turned agnostic. Well, not really agnostic, but atheist. And it's before that reasoning, because it's hypocritical. It's because I was actually brought up. You're not supposed to like homosexuals. Homosexuals, God didn't like them. That kind of deal. And I'm like, well, what's wrong with them? Because one of my cousins actually turned out to be a homosexual, and you kind of could see it early on. It was like, instead of come playing with me or my brother, he'd go over there and he'd play with my little, nieces and nephews and stuff like that. Oh. He just liked the feminine stuff. And you're trying to tell me that I'm supposed to hate him because somebody in a book tells me I should hate him? I don't hate him. He gave me no reason to hate him.
Yeah.
I guess I was a little bit more open-minded as a child.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the problem, Wayne. You didn't pray for him, brother. You got to.
This funny thing, a lot of people ask me why I don't believe in Jesus, that he died for my sins and stuff. I'd be like, well, do you believe in Zeus?
Well,
do you believe in Odin?
Yeah. Now, we've talked about this. I'm a believer.
Yeah, you can be a believer. But exactly. I'm not. You're making me out to be this. People like to make me out to be this horrible person, but in reality, I only believe in one less God than them. Yeah. There's 2,700 gods.
There's a lot of people. Like right now, me and you having a good time. When it comes to religion and politics and stuff like that, it's almost like if you don't agree with me, we can't be friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it shouldn't be like that. It's like, whatever. My God's dick is bigger than your God's dick.
Yeah.
There's just things in there I just can't agree with. Here's one of them. let's say you have a good person. Let's say we have a guy who's a Buddhist. He doesn't believe in Christianity. He spends his whole life doing good. He's helpful. He's nice. He's polite. But because he didn't take his faith in Jesus Christ, he's going to burn in hell, stone, and fire?
Well, it's kind of like this. What's the three major religions?
They're all basically one religion, which is Catholic, Jewish, and Christianity.
Muslims. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Muslims, and it's all one big thing with different variations of it.
Do you think that you think religion's one of the biggest forms of revenue in mankind history?
Oh, it is easily. I mean, even today, look at it this way. Let's put religion and politics together. What happens every time somebody starts losing in politics? They pull the God card, right?
Yeah.
Well, I go to church every Sunday. This candidate doesn't.
Yep.
I mean, that's just the way it is. Religion is a tool, and mankind uses it as a tool to get where he wants to get.
Yeah.
And just like it is, like when I was growing up, like I said, I grew up in Southern Free Will Baptist, and we had this thing called tithes.
Oh yeah, gotta pay your tithes.
And our tithes was like 15% of your total paycheck, and people would pay it.
Yeah.
I mean, they get taxed, and they go to church and shell out like $127 right to the tithes.
What do you think about these mega churches?
Oh, you mean like on TV and stuff? They're
like the Rick Warren, Pastor Rick Warren and stuff like that.
They're a very well-oiled, money-driven machine.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what is the difference between... I don't know any of the mega churches, like pastors or nothing.
Well, you got some major ones out there, like Rick Warren. He wrote that book, The Purpose-Driven Life. A lot of people heard of it, but...
Yeah, but, like, what does he do different than, like, my pastor over at the Damascus Southern Free Will Baptist Church does? I mean, like, he's better at marketing himself, and he's better at making money. I'm pretty sure he drives a Porsche, like your boy Peter Popoff.
And your pastor was driving a Ford, an old Ford Crown Vic, beat up.
It's been so long since I've been out there. I think the last time I seen my pastor, he was driving like an old, like, square body Delta 88.
The Delta 88.
Yeah, this was a while back, though. This is when it was a newer car. But it was the small body with the V6 on it. It wasn't like the old big body.
Oh, okay. It wasn't the bus.
It wasn't the bus.
Bus-looking thing.
It almost looked like a Sierra. Remember the Buick Sierra?
Yeah. Man, I try to stay away from religion. Yeah. Like I said, a lot of times, guys, they just can't.
Oh, I got one more question about religion. Since you're a religious man, what about this one? What about cannibals?
Ooh.
Do they go to hell? They have no idea what religion is. They eat people because they're hungry.
How about this? Remember the airplane that crashed, and the people had to eat their friends or whatever? What movie was that?
That was Alive, where they landed in the mountains.
Yeah, that was a true life story, wasn't it?
Yeah, the soccer team. They landed in. They hit the top of a mountain and ended up having to eat their dead friends, and they froze to death.
Yeah. You know, I wonder if they don't go to heaven or hell.
I'm wondering too.
Yeah,
I mean, but technically they didn't kill anybody.
I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for that. I'll tell you the answer. You want to tell you the answer?
What?
It depends on if they say grace. Okay. I'm gonna go to hell.
Now, what would happen if like if one of the people that you ate pork before he died? I don't know.
It depends. I was about to say that depends on if you're a Muslim or not. Oh, shit. Oh, we're going to hell.
I don't know.
We're not going to get 10,000 virgins.
There's 72 virgins, dude.
Is it 72?
It's 72. And
I'm sorry.
They don't clarify if it's male or female. So I picture my 72 virgins looking like
Could be goat.
The Star Wars like starting lineup.
It could be 72 goats.
It could be 72 like pimple-faced geeks that like died of like malnutrition.
Well, I thought it was 10,000.
I'd be like, what? Well, St. Peter, dude, I'm gonna have to pass up on those 72 virgins. Yeah, I'm just gonna go walk the streets of gold. It was like a streets of gold, dude. Like, why would you have a street of gold? Gold is like something that's earthly. Gold's worth money here on Earth. Why would you make a street of gold somewhere where that does not have any monetary system?
I'm just glad God didn't make it streets of copper.
Oh my God, that's wrong.
All the damn copper thieves would steal that shit.
Dude, I actually when I was me and my buddy Brooke, we cleaned the shed out recently, and we got some copper because they had some old. The woman's husband had he worked at like the telephone company and had these spools of wire.
Oh yeah.
And it had the copper inlay in them, and she gave them to us. So there was probably like 300 pounds of copper. And it's like we take it in, and copper's only like $1 and something a pound. I thought it was like people were willing to steal this stuff.
Yeah.
It's not worth that much.
Yeah.
So I remember people stealing air conditioning units off of new houses that are sitting up on the market.
I had a buddy of mine had that shit happen to his house in Georgia. No joke. I mean, what are you doing?
Motherfucker, you put the truck up and just rip the fucking AC unit off the side of the
Yeah.
house.
I mean, you can't get that much money for it.
Yeah, you get like $30 and some change.
Shit.
I remember,
wouldn't even-
you want to hear a true story? This right here is fucked up.
Yeah.
I live on a road, and at the end of the road we have a substation because we live in a rural area.
Yeah.
And the substation basically powers it up and sends electricity out for us. Well, a guy jumped the fence of the substation, and there's like these aluminum things on the actual I forgot what they're called, but electric tower.
Yeah.
And it looks like copper. Like it's just painted. It's painted gold looking. So
it ain't. It ain't real.
It isn't real copper. It's like
Okay.
it's like an aluminum metal,
I got
but
you.
it's copper color.
Yeah.
Well, he gets up there and he tries to cut the shit off of it. Needless to say, he died.
Fuck, dude.
I don't know how much a substation has going through it, but it's enough to kill you instantly.
I bet it blew his shoes off. I've seen
I bet it
pictures.
popped his eyeballs.
Probably so. I wonder if he had a last thought, right before he went to snip it. You know, what was that?
It's probably like this. I'm gonna get me a Michelob.
Oh shit!
You don't have time to. You probably didn't have time to realize he fucked up.
I couldn't do. I just could not bring myself to doing that. I don't know. What do you have to be on judge wise to bring yourself to do something? I want to try it at least once.
That'd be some hardcore shit, dude. You want to jump up and fuck with a substation for a 5-foot piece of copper. I mean, even if he got that copper off, imagine what that would have weighed. A 5-foot piece of copper, hollow tube. What? 2, 3, 4 pounds? $4?
Yeah, he's gonna get. He won't even be able to buy a Big Mac extra value meal.
He wouldn't even be able to get an extra value meal with it.
He gotta get the damn.
Just imagine if he got it off and he didn't kill himself. He had to tote a 5-foot piece of copper around, trying to hitch a ride up to the fucking car crasher plant.
Fuck. People stupid.
I mean, people get desperate, dude. I mean,
Yeah. About like them guys that say, I post Moabs daily.
it's all coming full circle now.
I know you won't. This came full circle. I know you won't read this comment, but if you do, check me out.
What's your channel again?
I forgot.
Oh, you forgot. It's IZneck, isn't it?
IZneck. That's right. I-Z-E. Somebody asked me, why did you put I and a Z? Because you can't have the fucking R on nothing. I don't know. YouTube, there's no R. There's no plain redneck with an R. On Xbox, there was an old original Xbox gamer tag. Nobody uses it, but you can't get it because Xbox sucks. So, I had to go with an I and a Z. And I think the I and the 2 looks gay. So, if the other guy is hearing this, fuck you.
IZneck.
IZ, baby. That's right. IZneck. There you go.
Like iRobot. All right,
Yeah.
guys. Peace.
Later.
Let me call you right back.
Jamming our radar. Friendly predator missile inbound. Assignment accomplished. Good work. Objective